parenting moment, right? So my room is messy, right? And it was just one prospect that I try to get. She's a cleaning lady. She's an expert cleaner, and I guess detailer of a house, right? And she was like, having clutter, and she was talking to me. Having clutter affects your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and I would even add your finances, right? And I was like, yo, being in my room, even though it's a great opportunity and all that other stuff, is semi-depressing because the room is dark and it's clutter everywhere. So I said, I made an allegiance. I thought I'd get my coffee, I'm gonna fix that. No cap. And this is the lesson. If you can create victory, you can create loss. One of the things that's not talked about in the spiritualist community is how you can create loss, how you can create destruction, how you can create lack. It's not about, I don't want to think negative. I don't want to be a pessimist. You know what I realize? Why you don't want to speak lack or speak negativity or dwell on loss? Because you can create it. You can create it just as much as you create victory. You can create victory the way you can create defeat. It's the same energy, the same mind, the same heart, the same everything. The same person that created that loss. And I say this because I've created various circumstances where I was homeless. And I spoke it into existence. And I've seen people speak homelessness into existence. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I remember I'll never forget being in my parents' house, and I left like years later. I left in 2018. My best friend made me remember. She was like, I was talking to her a couple years ago, and I said, yo, I spoke it into existence. I said, quote, I'd rather be homeless than be here. As I know the power of my tongue now, and I always used to tell my father, yo, you gotta stop speaking death over me. And I said, because you named me a name that to this very day, to the very air that I breathe, for my life to move forward in any type of real fashion, I must have faith or be faithful to myself. And I said, you gotta stop speaking defeat. You gotta stop speaking, I won't make a way. Because by the definition of faith, and especially written in the Bible, that's not the way that works. In the words of Neville Goddard, who quoted it the best, faith and Bob Proctor, faith and fear are both loyalty. Both loyalty. Both loyalty to the unseen. And it's just about one that you pick. And in the words of Neville Goddard, your faith is your fortune. Because if you have it, I like the way he says it. He says, any thought persisted in, good, bad, evil, or negative, evil or positive, evil or good, will harden into fact. Any thought persisted in, night after night, day after day, persisted in, will harden into fact. And I had to sit with myself. I had to sit with myself and just accept the fact that I had to accept the fact that you can create loss today like you can create defeat. And going into my enemy year, I cannot unnecessarily create defeat. Something that I had to accept. You have to accept. Stop creating unnecessary defeat. Because victory is just a switch of words, self-talk, action, thinking, and behavior. In a lot of ways, it's just the polar opposite. In a lot of ways, self-talk is just the polar opposite energy of an action and thinking of what you're doing right now.